asking a fun question. And you can't use, since we're just talking about Patriots quarterbacks, you can't use Joe Milton in this project here, this scenario, because I think everybody in the world wants to see Joe Milton get traded away from the Patriots because he's a quarterback that's just sitting there right now. Is QB3
so good,
behind Josh Dobbs. He's just hiding. The Patriots are bubble wrapping him, putting him, in the corner, saying save for another day
because he's unbelievable. Let's keep him on the roster.
Don't make him the Matt Castle of 2008. Okay, in case something happens, break glass. Like, we don't need that. Like, we need Joe Milton on a team. I mean, I personally think he'd be great to see him on the Dallas Cowboys. So when Dak Prescott obviously messes up in week 1, he can take his job, or maybe he could be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I don't know. But right now there's a report saying that the Patriots only want a 3rd-round pick for him. I don't think that's going to happen. So this is where we sit. So here's my fun scenario to wrap up this episode today.
Okay.
Which young quarterback that has been in the league so far that either had a shot, actually, I think all these quarterbacks have had a shot, haven't really panned out. So which young quarterback would you be willing to take a chance on again? Doesn't matter the team. You can bring up a scenario and tell me, like, I think the Titans should do this, or I think the Steelers should do this, or you can just pick the player. I don't care. That's as fun as I'll get with this scenario. But out of these 4 quarterbacks, which one are you willing to still take a chance on? Trey Lance had a shot with San Francisco. Obviously, they moved on, went to Brock Purdy, traded him to Dallas, and he didn't do anything there. It was kind of like a Joe Milton situation.
It was.
Mac Jones, about Mac Jones, New England Patriots, had a decent moment in his rookie year. There was some good shining moments there, I will say.
One shining moment,
when he went to Jacksonville, he wasn't bad as a backup to Trevor Lawrence, okay? Danny Jones, there was New York Giants playoff football just a few years ago with Danny Dimes. After he signed that huge contract, it's like he felt comfortable or something. I don't know. It was like the Ryan Fitzpatrick feeling of the Buffalo Bills a few years ago. Look at me. Do you even know who Ryan Fitzpatrick is? I know you're like,
oh, please. Okay. Come on now.
Sure you understand Fitzmagic on this show. And then Will Levis, obviously the Tennessee Titans quarterback for the last few years. Titans have won, so obviously we all know and think that they're moving on from Cam Ward. So out of those 4 quarterbacks, who would you be willing to give another chance to if you are a GM of the other 31 teams in this scenario? You don't have to pick a team, but which one would you be willing to do?
Yeah, no, that's actually a tough question, if you will.
Oh.
I think I'm going to keep this for the fun questions.
I like it.
No, out of those guys, it's a tough group. I'm not going to lie to you. We have seen the success of Sam Darnold in recent years, which makes me wonder what these Jets guys can do. Or
I didn't say Zach Wilson.
No, I know. I was like,
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson was coming. I thought Zach Wilson was coming down the pipe, and I was going to go with him just because of former Jets guy, and what we saw from Sam Darnold and stuff. But I think I'm going to lean
in New York.
I think I'm going to lean Mac Jones here, and I don't even really want to lean that way. Just out of the other names, like the situations they were in, and the players they had around them. Danny Dimes was in a very odd spot. I just don't know enough about him right now. Mac Jones in the offensive coordinator situations he was placed in and the weapons he had around him were sparse to non-existent. I don't have any ill will towards Mac Jones. I am certainly glad he's not our quarterback anymore, but it doesn't mean that he can't be successful anywhere else. And so if I were to give anyone another chance, out of those 4 names, I think it would be Mac Jones.
Who?
Mackie Mac? Big Mac Jones?
Mac Jones? Who?
Yeah, I think that's, it's tough. Like, I don't feel confident in that pick. I don't know what you're getting at, but I don't know.
You're showing your age every single second on this show.
I knew it was a reference to my age. I knew that, but I was like, did I say his name wrong? No, I just, that's a horrible group of 4. That's a group of 4 that has certainly struggled. But out of those 4, I mean, only once had 2 OCs in the same year. So I'll take Big Mac.
Before I give you my question, do you think any of these 4 will ever start an NFL game again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll stop. I honestly almost wonder if all 4 of them will start. Just at some point, you can hang around. There's an injury at some point. These are all capable quarterbacks. I mean, they're top 64 probably in the world at their position. Like they're very legit. Don't get me wrong. And obviously, I think Daniel Jones' contract that he secured with the Giants helps his case as well. So I think they'll all start. I don't know if they'll win those games, but I think they'll all probably start at some point.
If they both play against each other, who would welcome? No, I'm not going that far. All right, we don't need to raise your sticky note question mark again. Here's my question. Here's my answer. I'm gonna go with Mac Jones as my third pick in this one. If I had to rank him, I'd go Mac Jones as third. Danny Jones. I think Danny Dimes.
Interesting.
He deserves another chance, and I think he's going to get it in Indianapolis. I think that they.
Yeah.
I think they might be over the Anthony Richardson conversation. There's a reason they brought Daniel Jones in and actually paid him some money to come in. This is what, in my opinion, this is what they did for this. They set a bar for Anthony Richardson and said, look, this offseason, Daniel Jones is the line. He's the Mendoza line.
Yep.
You can't outbeat Daniel Jones. Your career is over.
Yeah.
It's time for you to go. And I think that they're going to, and NFL GMs are going to see that as well. And they've already heard about the things. If he doesn't want to start anymore, he's being too tired. Like,
that's, I was going to say, you don't see very many starters pulling themselves out of games. You just don't see that.
The Indianapolis Colts are setting a standard with Daniel Jones, and it's crazy to say, but knowing that this is the line. If you are below the line, then you're not staying around. You can't be our franchise quarterback.
Nothing below this would be acceptable.
That's it. It's like Bad Grandpa when he tells him this, you can't pass this line. The guy steps the line and said, oh, you crossed the line. Can't do that, Anthony Richardson. You can't. That's where I'm going. He's my number 2. But number 1, I think Will Levis had a terrible situation in Tennessee last year. Will Levis was sacked so many times. He had a terrible job being protected. Now, he made some bad throws, but like Daniel Jones, I think he was gun shy. He got a little shell shocked after getting beat up so many times. I mean,
a generational run
over and over again. Yeah, just keep going back out there over and over again, and knowing that your right tackle or left tackle is probably going to make you get hit from behind, blindsided. Like you're going out there willingly because you're getting paid, and you like to eat mayo out of a jar, and you're willing to be able to say, "Hey, I'm going to get my ass kicked," but that's just the way it goes right now because we're the Tennessee Titans and we suck.
Yeah,
I think if Will Levis was in a different situation with a good line, if you put Will Levis on the Pittsburgh Steelers this year.
How many wins?
Steelers, at least 9. At least 9.
It just felt like he was so young on that team. Like the decisions he was making just felt so, like, to lack of better word, immature. And it was just like a last second, like I said, like just a generational meme run because he was like throwing his body into the wind and like every ball just like it felt like Carson Wentz there for a little bit. Like if
have you ever ate
we're
mayo
not scoring
out
a
of
touchdown.
Have you ever
have I ever ate mayo out of a jar?
Yeah.
No.
You had to think about it.
Well, because I'm like wondering, does it count if I'm like testing if it's good? Onto the spoon, just
no, that doesn't count.
Okay, then
you
I would
sit down with like the jar and you're like,
no, I can't.
It's your cereal bowl.
Like that, no. Miracle Whip, yes. Mayo, no. Miracle Whip, yes.
I think that might be worse, actually.
No way. Miracle Whip is so much better. Oh, are you kidding me? It's got the tanginess.
I'm pretending to freeze on that show.
I know. I'll do this all day. I will have a staring contest with you all day.
No way. I think Will Levis could be a better quarterback if he was on a different team. I think that's, again, I think a cop out in that conversation about that portion. But Will Levis, I think, if he was not in the same situation as he was last year, dare I say we talk about him differently this year?
Oh,
the Tennessee Titans probably aren't picking 1-1. And if they were picking 1-1, I don't know if we'd be so inclined to saying they were going after a quarterback. So how much is it Bill Callahan? How much is it is it Bill Callahan, Brian Callahan? I don't know. I messed up now. Brian. Coach Callahan. How much is it him? How much is it the offensive line? How much is it the fact that they traded away Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins in front of his eyeballs, right?
And AJ Brown.
They went to a rebuild. Right. Yeah. So I would like to see maybe him get one more go. I don't think it's going to happen with Tennessee, but if you could trade him,
that's where I go because he's so young, Yeah. I mean, Max Young.
We saw Trey Lance. I think we saw what we got from Trey Lance. I think there's a reason Dallas never gave him a shot. I think they were just kind of maybe hoping that they could change him, and they tried to see what he got in practice, and I think they just knew. That's why we never saw him in games as well. So I think Trey Lance is done. Out of the 4 of them, I think we could see
That's
3 of them
actually,
starting a game. I don't think Trey Lance will
yeah,
be an NFL quarterback.
that's what I was going to say. Now, revisiting your question, will they all start? I don't know. Maybe not Trey Lance. He's going to have to be on a different team, I think, because Cooper Rush, obviously, kind of the backup there in
Now Cooper
Dallas.
Rush just signed somewhere else.
Oh, where'd he go? I didn't see this.
Where'd he go? Yeah, I just saw it. Where'd he go? There's so many things that just happened.
Oh my God, what is Jerry Jones going to do?
I know. Yeah, where did he sign? Oh, Baltimore Ravens. He's Lamar's backup now.
So is it? Oh my gosh, that's actually big time. I did not know that. I did not see that.
Yeah,
that is
Cooper
important.
Rush, Baltimore Raven.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, you learned something here, folks.
It's just Dak Prescott now. I don't even know who's the Cowboys' backup quarterback now.
Probably Trey then.
No, he's a free agent. They didn't keep him.
They're not bringing him back. They should. Jeez.
I mean, as of right now, they're not. According to ourlads.com, backup quarterback is Will Grier. Will Grier.
Okay.
So young guy was.
So do you think? I didn't know that he was completely out and straight of water. Do you think Trey Lance will get signed somewhere?
No. No, I don't. With the quarterbacks that are coming in the draft this year, and let's be honest, if you want a Trey Lance, you might as well just draft Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you kind of know what you've seen other teams in their opinion on Trey Lance. I mean, why take the chance?
You just talked about you saying that some of these quarterbacks are top 64. Shout out Super Nintendo. Shout out Nintendo. If you think that Trey Lance is top 64, then I got some waterfront property to sell you in Arizona.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the case. I think that if you looked at the NFL draft right now and you looked at 5, 6 quarterbacks, maybe even 7 quarterbacks, I'd take over Trey Lance just because they have some upside.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys didn't go for Trey Lance and even give him a shot after Dak Prescott got injured last year, didn't even give him a shot, didn't even start him. They knew what they had with Cooper Rush.
Yeah. That's actually, I cannot believe that. I didn't even. Yeah, Trey Lance is totally cooked, bro. He is not a top 64 guy.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Trey.
No, hey, it happens, Trey. It happens.
It's crazy. Like 2 years ago, he was top 64. He was arguably top 32. There was conversation of why is he hitting.
We go to this point, though. This is now he becomes a former first-round draft pick, and that's when
he's looking a lot like Josh Rosen right now. I hate to say it.
Ooh. What? They got to make us 30 on 30 for Josh Rosen. How fast he declined. It was so quick. I mean, he started 1 year, and then the next thing you know, he's on the practice squad of the Dolphins the next year. Like, what was that? What was that? I mean,
that was something, man.
If you compare the 2 careers back and forth, and we're kind of picking on Trey Lance here, Josh Rosen had it way worse.
Oh my! But he remembers everyone drafted ahead of him, so
it's true. That's true.
I mean, there's
my
that.
Gosh, we talked about the backup quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Will Grier, West Virginia guy. Shout out Mountaineer Paul.
Shout out Mountaineer Paul, baby. My dog
on our show. There it is. Let's wrap it up here.